Hey everybody, this is Ray Halstead and Patricia Nass with REH CPA. Today we want to talk about the most commonly missed tax credits. First of all, what's the difference between a tax credit versus a tax deduction? I've got Patricia Nass here with me today. Patty, what can you tell us? First of all, what's a tax credit versus a tax deduction? And then what are some of the most commonly missed ones?
So the difference between the two is that a deduction lowers your taxable income. So then that taxable income, will have your 20%, 10%, whatever your tax rate is. So you're not getting that dollar for dollar deduction. Whereas the credit is actually a credit against the tax you owe. So if you owe $1,000 and you have a $500 credit, now you only owe $500.
Oh, so much better to get a tax
credit. Yeah, so we have a bunch that people, commonly miss. So there are two family ones that people often miss. The first is the credit for other dependents. So everyone's heard of the child tax credit. You get $2,000 per child. Well, there's also one for an other dependent. So an other dependent is a qualifying relative, a parent of yours, a child that's over 18 that wouldn't qualify for that. So that credit can be up to $500. And so, it's one thing people don't think about. If you're taking care of your parents that are elderly, you may be potentially eligible for this extra credit. Another family one that's missed often is the child and dependent care credit. So that's for when you have to pay somebody to take care of your child or another dependent who can't take care of themselves. So if your kid is under 13 years old, there are certain things. There's before care for school, there's after care. A lot of people often forget about summer camps.
Yeah,
so
it's one I typically see people miss is the summer camps.
Yeah, if both parents are working and you have to send your kid to summer camp, you can actually use that to get this credit, as long as it's not an overnight camp. They don't let you do sleepaway camps or,
Gotcha.
So there are some limits there. And then there's some residential credits people don't think about as well. So there's energy credits, energy efficient credits. So if you do, people always hear you do solar panels, but it extends beyond that. If you do anything else that's, the biofuel, any solar, energy efficient. So there's those credits. And then there's also ones for just improving doors and windows on your house.
Yeah. People don't think about that a lot, the doors and windows.
Right. You replace your front door, who thinks that you're going to get $200 credit for it? And then the last set of credits are the education credits. So there's two different ones for education. There is the American Opportunity Tax Credit, and then there's a Lifetime Learning Credit. So the American Opportunity Tax Credit is for if your child or yourself is going for your first 4 years of undergrad, then you can get this education credit. So you have to be enrolled in a program. It have to be more than half time enrolled. And so, but that's a pretty decent credit. You can get up to $2,500 back from that credit. And then the other credit that, again, often missed, the Lifetime Learning Credit. So this is eligible for anyone based on your income levels. Anyone you can go back to school. It could be undergrad. It can be graduate. It could be furthering your job that you're at right now. So any of those classes that you're paying tuition, books, any of those expenses for that, there's a credit for that as well.
Yeah. Well, that's really good information, Patty. If any of the things we've talked about here, if you feel like you probably qualified for and you maybe need to go and amend a tax return, or if you just have more questions about any credits that may be available to you, feel free to give us a call and we'll help you out. Thanks.